All right, learning target 1 is about finding equivalent expressions applying different algebraic properties. So we're going to talk about some different properties that you're going to use to find equivalent or equal expressions. Okay? So here's what I need you to do. This is your first video. So what I need you to do is I need you to listen first while I explain through these. Then I'll give you a chance to pause the video. You're going to pause the video, then you're going to write these down, and then press play when you're ready for the next part. Okay? So the first part of this is just distributive property. Okay? So it's saying that this equation is true. A times, in parentheses, B plus C is the same as taking A times B plus A times C. A times C. Okay? Next part is like terms. That would be terms that have the same variables raised to the same exponents. Okay? So for example, 3x squared y and 8x squared y are like terms because they have the same variables raised to the same exponents. They both have an x to the second power, and they both have a y to the first power. Okay? There's just one y in there, that's y to the first power. So it's saying you can add or subtract like terms. This is called combining like terms. So let's say our expression wanted us to add them. That would be 3 plus 8, that's 11x squared y. Let's say they wanted us to subtract. Let's put x squared y in the front this time. Minus 3x squared y. That would give us 5x squared y. Okay? The exponents and the variables do not change. They stay the same. They're like terms. All that happens is that we just have a different number of those variables at the end by combining these two like terms together. Okay? And then the last one is some properties of equality. These are what we're going to use in the next section when we start solving equations. So if A equals B, so if A and B are the same thing, for any number C, then you can do this. You can add C to both sides. You can subtract C from both sides. It's going to stay the same. You can multiply both sides by C, or you can divide both sides by C. Okay? So now's the time that you are going to go ahead and pause the video. You're going to write down what's typed up, and if you'd like to write down the examples to help remind you, you can go ahead and do that as well. So go ahead and pause the video. When you're done, press play, and we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so this is the part where I'm going to do an example for you. So it says to rewrite y equals 3 plus 2 times x plus 4 without parentheses. So when it asks me to rewrite it without parentheses, that means I'm going to use the distributive property to distribute that 2 across here. So that means that it's the same as y equals 3 plus, that 3 does not change, 2 times x plus 2 times 4. This is just the distributive property as we saw in the previous definition page. Now, simplifying, 3 plus 2 times x we write as 2x, 2 times 4 we write as 8, and then 3 and 8 are actually like terms. They have the same variables, meaning they don't have any variables. They're constants. We'll learn what that is later. And so I'm going to combine 3 with the 8, so I'm going to write 2x plus 11, or optionally you could write 11 plus 2x. It really means the same thing, but we generally like to put the term with the variable first. So y equals 2x plus 11. Okay? Now your job before class is to use any combination of the properties above to write 3 different equivalent expressions to y equals 3x plus 2 times x minus 6. Okay? So you can use any of the properties. You can combine like terms. You can distribute. You can use the properties of equality to make something that's equivalent to this. And I want you to make those 3 different equivalent expressions to that. And we'll see what you come up with when you come to class the next time.